So in this lecture, we are going to discuss the next topic related to the time series analysis. Okay, the second module of a time series analysis is nothing but exponential smoothing method. Okay, exponential smoothing method. So why it is required to use the exponential smoothing method, and what are the different advantages of exponential smoothing method uh, over the moving average method? That is also most important part. So the moving average by using or determining the forecast by using the moving average method is some kind of a laborious work, or we can say that we require to do the multiple operations, or we can say that the multiple calculations to determine the forecasting by using the moving average method. And also the effect of a moving average is not that much crucial to determine the forecasting of a future. Okay, so crucial means what? That it is not that much accurate, and it is considering the previous data effect on the future. Okay, and also the weights in case of a simple moving average, the weightage is provided or it is provide equal weightage to all the data or all the previous historical data. Okay, so that should not be happen, that weight should not be equal to all the data. Okay, we should have we should have the clarification that which data should have more weightage and which data should have the less weightage. That will provide you the firm quantity or the firm decision related to the forecasting. So one of the disadvantages of a moving average forecasting is it is a laborious operation of all the previous years. So in one of the problem we have discussed, previous problem, we required to calculate all the moving averages, okay, for given data. So that one kind of a laborious work, or we can say that the monotonous work, or it is not required to do the calculation of a previous data if we are going to determine the forecasting for the next period. Okay, so if you, it is simple if you are having the 10-month data, but if you are having the 25-month data, 60-month data, or 100-month data, and if you want to determine the forecasting for the next month only, so you have to perform the averaging or the moving averaging for last all the data whatever the available with you. So that is the monotonous work, or we can say that laborious work. Laborious means what? It does not have a firm direction, or that particular person don't know for what reason we are doing the that much calculations. Okay, so that is one kind of a disadvantage of this moving average method. Whereas for calculation of a exponential smoothing method, if you have the current month demand and current month forecasting, then also you can easily calculate the next month or next period forecasting. Okay, you can easily calculate what you require. You just required what is the forecasting for the current month. Okay, and what actual demand is there for that particular current month. So on that basis also you can do the calculation for the next month forecasting or a next period forecasting. Okay, so as we have discussed that simple. One minute. Okay, so that should not happen. Actually, the different data's weightage is it should be different according to their position in the historical data sheet. Okay, as we know that the current data should have more weightage, and the weightage for the data will get reduced as the data get older and older. Okay, so weightage means what? How much that particular data will affect on the future demand or future forecasting. That is nothing but a weightage. How much weightage you are giving to that particular data. Okay, 50% weightage, 20% weightage, 60% weightage, how much weightage you want to give that particular data. So that is nothing but the effect of that data will be considered in a upcoming forecasting. Okay, that is the effect of data on upcoming forecasting. Okay, so this weightage should not be equal. Okay, and we should think about that. The recent period data should have more weightage, and the previous historical data should have less weightage. Okay, so in exponential smoothing in exponential smoothing method, the weightage is assigned to all the previous data, no issue in that case, but it is not equal. Okay, the weightage is assigned to all the previous data, but it is not equal. So we will discuss about that while discussing the equations on that on this particular exponential smoothing method. Okay, and the demand for the most recent data is given a more weightage. Whatever the demand is there for the current month, so that demand will have the more weightage, and it will get reduced as we are going to the history. Okay, so weights are assigned to the older period in a decreasing exponentially. Okay, so yes, in exponential smoothing method we can assign the weight to the previous data, but it is in a exponential format. Okay, while traveling from current data to the historical data, the weightage is going to reduce exponentially. Okay, so in this case we required some characteristics. Okay, in case of exponential smoothing method, we required the characters. Okay, or we can say that nomenclature. So this nomenclature, first of all, it is important. F of t represent f suffix t or f of t represent forecast for the period t. Okay, for which period you are going to perform the forecast for that particular period or for that particular month, you have to assign the nomenclature as f of t. Okay, forecast for the period of t. Okay, let us say I'm going to determine the forecast for the month December. Okay, for the month December. So forecasted demand for the month December will be considered as f of t. Okay, forecasted demand for the month December. Okay, it is not we are not in a December month, and we want to predict what will be the sales forecast or a demand forecast for the December month, and now we are in a November month. Okay, so the December month period will be considered, or the demand for the December month period will be considered as f of t. Okay, f of t. Then the current month. Okay, we are in a November month. Okay, then the current month forecasted demand will be considered as f of t minus 1. Okay, let us say we are in a November month and we want to determine the forecasted demand for the December month. Okay, then f of t will be the nomenclature as forecasted demand for the December month, and f of t minus 1 will be considered as the nomenclature for forecasted demand of November month. Okay, f of t minus 1 will be considered as forecasted demand for the November month, or we can say that current month or the last period. Okay, last month or last period. Okay, and actual demand. Now here we required the forecasted demand also and actual demand also. What we have forecasted for that particular month and what is actually happened in that particular month, that is nothing but actual demand. Okay, हमने सोचा था कि नवंबर मंथ में 1000 प्रोडक्ट सेल आउट हो गए, लेकिन 900 ही प्रोडक्ट सेल आउट हो गए. सो हमारा डिमांड फोरकास्टिंग कितना था, 1000 का था, बट एक्चुअल में कितना हुआ, 900 हुआ. सो f of t, or if you consider that f of t minus 1 will be considered as 1000, and d of t minus 1, that is nothing but actual demand for the last period, will be considered as a d suffix t minus 1. Okay, and here the most important part is nothing but you should have a smoothing constant. Smoothing constant is the value which is less than 1. Okay, 0.6, 0.5, 0.27, and this value will be predicted on the basis of experience. Okay, which value is the best value, that will be predicted on the basis of experience, and on the basis of a data whatever available to you. Okay, actually most of the time for the problems, this smoothing constant value is provided to you. Okay, so need not to worry about this smoothing constant value, because this value is useful, mostly useful to perform the calculation, and this is the given data in the problem. Okay, and how to calculate? For the calculation purpose, this value is calculated on the basis of a trial and error method, on the basis of a given data, and for that data which alpha value is suitable, that is determined on the basis of a trial and error method. Okay, trial and error method. So one time you will get 0.8 value, and what will be the answer? Okay, that answer is closer to the actual demand or not. Okay, so if it is not closer, then check out the 0.7 value, whether it is closer to the actual demand or not, that will be determined. If it is closer to the actual demand, then you will select the 0.7 as a smoothing constant. Okay, if it is not, then check out the different values which is less than 1, and in that manner the smoothing constant value is determined. Okay, in that manner the smoothing constant value is determined. Okay, so when you know this nomenclatures, what is meant by f of t, what is meant by f of t minus 1, what is meant by d suffix t minus 1, and what is meant by alpha, when you know this all the nomenclatures, then you can use this formula for the forecasted demand of a next period or a given period. So this is the formula you can use to determine the forecasted demand for the given period or for the next period. So by using this formula, f of suffix t or f of t will be equal to f of t minus 1 plus alpha inside the bracket f of t minus 1 minus d of t minus 1. So we can say that the forecasted demand for the given period or for the next period is equal to, okay, is equal to f of t minus 1 is the forecasted demand for the last period or the current period plus smoothing constant multiply by inside the bracket forecasted demand for the current month or a current period or a last period minus actual demand for the current month or a last month. Okay, getting my point? So this is the formula which is useful for the calculation of a forecasted demand by using exponential smoothing method. Okay, or exponential smoothing method. Okay, so f of t, here you need to understand what is meant by f of t, what is meant by f of t minus 1, what is meant by d of t minus 1. Okay, so here you have the current month forecasted demand. Okay, f of t minus 1, we can say that the last period or a current period. Okay, and you have the actual demand of a current month or a actual demand of a last month or a last period. Okay, so once you have the actual demand and a forecasted demand and you know the alpha value, then we can easily determine the forecasted demand for the next period or the given period. Okay, for the next period or the given period. Let us say you know the forecasted demand for the November month. Okay, you know the forecasted demand for the November month and you know the actual demand for the November month. Okay, and you have the alpha value. Okay, you have the alpha value. So you can determine the forecasted demand for the next month, that is nothing but for the December month. Okay, for the December month. So this is our equation number 1. And if you rearrange this equation in a normal format, that if you multiply alpha inside the bracket, okay, alpha if you multiply inside the bracket, and if you take the f of t minus 1 term common, then you will get this equation, that is f of t is equal to f of t minus 1 inside the bracket 1 minus alpha plus alpha multiplied by d suffix t minus 1. Okay, here what we have done, just we have multiply alpha inside the bracket and we have combined f of t minus 1 term combined f of t minus 1 term, and we have taken common f of t minus 1, and then we will get the equation as f of t is equal to f of t minus 1 inside the bracket 1 minus alpha plus alpha multiplied by d of t minus 1. Okay, and that will be your equation number 2. Okay, if you consider this formula, okay, there is some synchronization. Okay, there is some synchronization when there is a f of t. Okay, here first term is f of t minus 1. Okay, and then 1 minus alpha plus alpha, and here second term is d of t minus 1. Okay, so f of t is the forecasted demand for the next period or the given period. F of t minus 1 is the forecasted demand for the current period or the last month. Okay, and d of t minus 1 is nothing but the actual demand for the last period or the current period. Okay, so if you formulate this, okay, if you formulate this for the next month, so what will be the forecasted demand for the current month? Okay, what will be the forecasted demand for the current month? That is nothing but what will be the value of f of t minus 1. Okay, that we need to determine. That if you don't have that value, how will you calculate that value? Okay, so in a similar way, if you use this formula for f of t minus 1, okay, here you need to apply the logic. Okay, when here f of t is there, then here first term is f of t minus 1, and here also d of t minus 1. Now you are going to consider the forecasted demand for the last period, that is nothing but f of t minus 1. So what will be the formula for f of t minus 1? So that will become f of t minus 1 equal to f of t minus 2 inside bracket 1 minus alpha plus alpha inside bracket d of t minus 2. Okay, d of t minus 2. Okay, so that will be the formula we need to use when we are going to determine the forecasted demand for the current month. Okay, forecasted demand for the current month. Let us say this is for the December month. Okay, next month के लिए हमने ये फॉर्मूला यूज किया, तो नवंबर मंथ के लिए कौन सा फॉर्मूला होना चाहिए? सो नवंबर मंथ के लिए हम f of t minus 1 हम नवंबर कंसीडर करेंगे, f of t minus 2 हम अक्टूबर कंसीडर करेंगे, और अक्टूबर महीने का फोरकास्टेड डिमांड कंसीडर करेंगे, और d of t minus 2 अक्टूबर मंथ का actual demand consider करेंगे. Okay, so 1 minus alpha as it is here, also 1 minus alpha, and here plus alpha multiply by d suffix t minus 2, or d of t minus 2, d suffix t minus 2 or d of t minus 2. Okay, getting everyone? So what is the significance of this particular formula? Now in a similar fashion, if you put up this f of t minus 1 in equation number 2, okay, in equation number 2, f of t minus 1 in equation number 2, okay, what will happen? So the value of f of t minus 1 is substituted from equation 3 into equation number 2. Okay, so this is our equation number 2, that is f of t is equal to f of t minus 1 inside the bracket 1 minus alpha plus alpha inside the bracket d of t minus 1. Now instead of this first term f of t minus 1, we are going to put up f of t minus 2 inside the bracket 1 minus alpha plus alpha inside the bracket d of t minus 2. Okay, so our equation becomes for the f of t will be equal to, in a curly bracket, instead of f of t minus 2, we are going to put up the equation number 3, which we have calculated for f of t minus 1. Okay, so that particular equation we have put up over here in a curly bracket for f of t minus 1, and that equation is nothing but f of t minus 2 inside the bracket 1 minus alpha plus alpha inside the bracket d of t minus 2, bracket complete, curly bracket complete, and whole multiply by 1 minus alpha, whole multiply by 1 minus alpha, plus the remaining term as it is we have kept over here, alpha multiply by inside the bracket d of t minus 1. Okay, now once you multiply this 1 minus alpha inside the bracket, then you will get f of t is equal to, if you multiply 1 minus alpha inside the bracket, then this 1 minus alpha square we will get, and multiply with the f of t minus 2. So we will get the term f of t minus 2 inside the bracket 1 minus alpha square plus, now here for the second term, once again 1 minus alpha multiplication. So alpha multiply by 1 minus alpha inside the bracket d of t minus 2 plus alpha multiplied by t minus 2. Okay, alpha multiplied by t minus 2. Now, in a similar fashion, if you calculate the f of t minus 2, okay, by using our initial formula, if you calculate the f of t minus 2, so then what will be the f of t minus 2? F of t minus 2 will be equal to f of t minus 3 inside the bracket 1 minus alpha. Okay, so once you have calculated this f of t, okay, now once again, if you determine the f of t minus 2 by using our initial formula, then f of t minus 2 will become f of t minus 3 inside bracket 1 minus alpha plus alpha multiplied by d of t minus 3. Okay, d of t minus 3, where f of t minus 3 is the previous period forecasting for the f of t minus 2, and d of t minus 3 is the previous period demand for f of t minus 2. Okay, so in this manner, once you calculate f of t minus 2, then you can put up this value or this equation of f of t minus 2 in equation number 4, and you will get the formula for f of t. Okay, so this is our equation number 4. In that, we have considered f of t minus 2 as it is, that is f of t is equal to f of t minus 2 inside the bracket 1 minus alpha square plus alpha inside the bracket 1 minus alpha multiplied by d suffix t minus 2 plus alpha multiplied by alpha multiplied by d suffix t minus 1. Once you put up this f of t minus 2 value in this particular equation, you will get the equation as f of t is equal to, inside the curly bracket we have put up the equation for f of t minus 2 as f of t minus 3 inside the bracket 1 minus alpha plus alpha multiplied by d suffix t minus 3 bracket complete, curly bracket complete, multiply by 1 minus alpha bracket square is there, so we have to keep that as it is, 1 minus alpha bracket square. Okay, so plus the remaining terms as it is, that is nothing but alpha inside the bracket 1 minus alpha bracket complete, multiply by d suffix t minus 2 bracket complete plus alpha inside the bracket d suffix t minus 1. So that terms we have kept as it is. Now if you multiply this 1 minus alpha square inside the bracket, okay, so you will get this type of equation. Just I have rearranged this equation, but if you multiply this 1 minus alpha bracket square inside the bracket, so it will be multiplied with this particular first term, okay, and it will become f of t minus 3 multiplied by 1 minus alpha bracket cube. Okay, that term I have written over here. Okay, and then once you multiply this 1 minus alpha square inside the bracket, then it will become alpha multiplied by 1 minus alpha square bracket alpha multiplied by inside the bracket 1 minus alpha bracket square multiplied by d of suffix t minus 3. So that term I have written over here. Okay, second term. Okay, and the remaining two terms I have taken in the front side, that is nothing but alpha multiplied by d of t minus 1 plus alpha multiplied by 1 minus alpha multiplied by d of t minus 2 plus alpha multiplied by d of t minus 3 multiplied by 1 minus alpha bracket square plus f of t minus 3 1 minus alpha bracket cube. Now what you understood from this equation? What you understood from this equation? So this is d suffix t minus 1 is the recent demand. Okay, is the recent demand. Okay, recent period demand. Okay, November month period demand. So f of t we are calculating as, or if you take the example, we are calculating f of t, or we are considering f of t for the December month forecasted demand. Okay, and our outcome will be that thing, or we have to determine the forecasted demand for the December month. Okay, and the recent period for the December month is nothing but the November month.
and the demand for the November month is considered to be d suffix t minus 1. Okay, this is the recent or the last period or the current period demand, actual demand. Okay, and for that demand we have given the more weightage. Okay, that demand we have given the more weightage, so that is nothing but alpha multiplied by d suffix t minus 1. So so that it will get automatically, it will get the more weightage. Okay, now the previous to previous period, that is d suffix t minus 2, will be considered as the actual demand of the October month. Okay, actual demand for the October month, and for that month we have given the less weightage. How we have given the less weightage? First of all, if this alpha value is less than 1, so let us say it's 0.8. So 0.8 multiplied by 1 minus 0.8. Okay, that will become 0.2, and 0.8 multiplied by 0.2, obviously it will become, or it will lesser than, it will less than 0.8. Okay, so that the weightage for the previous period will automatically reduce. Now here, this is the demand for, if you consider d suffix t minus 2 as the October month, the actual demand, then d suffix t minus 3 is the actual demand of September month. Okay, and how we are giving the weightage for that? So initially we have multiplied with the alpha, that is nothing but, if you have considered it is a 0.8, then let us say it is a 0.8 alpha, then 1 minus alpha, so 1 minus 0.8 will become 0.2, and 0.2 square multiplied by 0.8, it is lesser than 0.8 multiplied by 0.2. If you don't have that much belief on me, you can also perform the calculation. Which value is this alpha multiplied by 1 minus alpha is greater than alpha multiplied by 1 minus alpha bracket square or not? You can check it by doing the calculation also, and let me know whether it is lesser or greater than this. And the forecasted demand for the month of September, that is f of t minus 3, having less weightage than the previous 3 terms. Okay, previous 3 terms. So how we are giving the less weightage to this September month forecasting, that is f of t minus 3. So we have given 1 minus alpha, that is nothing but, if you are going to consider alpha value as a 0.8, then it will become 1 minus 0.8, and it is raised to 3. So which is lesser than 0.8, then 0.8 multiplied by 0.2, and 0.8 multiplied by 0.2 square also. Okay, so in this fashion, this exponential smoothing constants or exponential smoothing method is providing the weightage, or the reduced manner weightage, or exponentially reduced weightage to the previous periods. Okay, to the previous periods, and this exponential smoothing method or smoothing constant method is providing maximum weightage to the current month. So if you consider the 0.8 is the alpha, in that case the 80% weightage is provided to the current month data. Okay, current month 0.8 is nothing but 80% of weightage we have provided to the current month data, and 20% weightage for the previous month data is segregated. Okay, is segregated in this manner. Okay, is there any doubt, any question up till now, whether you understood how this exponential smoothing method is working, and what is meant by alpha, what is meant by f of t, what is meant by d of t, what is meant by d suffix t minus 1, what is meant by f of t minus 1? Okay, is there any doubt, any question in this? Okay, once we solve the problem, you will understood the concept very well, but up to this derivation part, or we can say that the equation part, I think you understood better now. If you have any doubt or any question, you can ask. If you have any doubt, any question, you can ask. Is there any doubt? Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Whether you understood?
Yes, sir. With the help of Prabhila again, will more understanding, sir.
Okay, okay, no issue. Others also can reply. Samruddhi, is there any doubt? Samruddhi? Okay. Snehal Mane, is there any doubt? Okay. So no issue. Now you can note down the points. Okay, give the heading as exponential smoothing method. Exponential smoothing method. Exponential smoothing method. Write down the first point. One of the disadvantage of moving average forecasting. One of the disadvantage of moving average forecasting. One of the disadvantage of moving average forecasting. Moving average forecasting is the laborious or laborious is the laborious operation is the laborious operation of all the previous years of all the previous years all the previous years. Full stop. Next point. Exponential smoothing method requires exponential smoothing method requires exponential smoothing method requires only the current demand only the current demand only the current demand and the forecasted demand. Exponential smoothing method requires only the current demand only the current demand requires only the current demand the current demand and the forecasted demand and the forecasted demand and the forecasted demand and the forecasted demand for the current month for the current month for the current month. Next point. Simple moving average method simple moving average method simple moving average method simple moving average method gives the equal weightage gives the equal weightage gives the equal weightage to all the periods to all the periods. Simple moving average method gives the equal weightage to all the periods to all the periods. Full stop. Full stop. Next point. Exponential smoothing assigns exponential smoothing assigns exponential smoothing assigns weight to all the previous data. Exponential smoothing assigns weight to all the previous data weight to all the previous data and pattern pattern. Exponential smoothing assigns weight to all the previous data and pattern of weights and pattern of weights assigned are pattern of weights assigned are of an exponential form. Of exponential form. Are of exponential form. The next point, demand for the most recent data. Demand for the most recent data demand for the most recent data demand for the most recent data given more weightage given more weightage given more weightage given more weightage. Full stop. Next point, weights assigned to older periods. Weights assigned to older periods. Weights assigned to older periods. Weights assigned to older periods decreases exponentially. Decreases exponentially. Weights assigned to older periods decreases exponentially. Weights assigned to older periods decreases exponentially. Stop. Next point, you can write exponential forecasting ensures that the forecast made by this method keeps pace with changing business trend. Keeps pace with changing business trend. With changing business trend. Next, you can write consider forecast for period T, forecast for the period T, equal to F suffix T, forecast for the period T is equal to F suffix T or F of T, then forecasted demand for the last period, in bracket you can write the current period also. Okay, in bracket you can write the current period also. Forecast demand for the last period is equal to F of T minus 1. Okay, F of T minus 1. Then next, actual demand for the last period or the current period. Actual demand for the last period or the current period will be equal to D suffix T minus 1. Actual demand for the last period or current period will be equal to D suffix T minus 1 or D of T minus 1. D suffix T minus 1, D of T minus 1. Then next, smoothing constant is equal to alpha. Smoothing constant is equal to alpha. And this is the equation number 1, which is used for exponential smoothing method. Okay, so which is that equation? F of t is equal to f of t minus 1 plus alpha multiplied by inside the bracket f of t minus 1 minus d of t minus 1. Okay, d of t minus 1. Write down the equation and give this equation number as equation number 1. We have just rearranged this equation for equation number 2, that we have multiplied alpha inside the bracket and we have compiled or combined f of t minus 1 term together, and we have taken f of t minus 1 common. Then we will get the equation number 2 as f of t or f suffix t is equal to f suffix t minus 1 inside bracket 1 minus alpha bracket complete plus alpha multiplied by d suffix t minus 1, d suffix t minus 1. This is our equation number 2. Write down both the equations. Now next, in similar way, the forecast for f of t minus 1 can be expressed as the forecast for f of t minus 1 can be expressed as, in a similar way, the forecast for f of t minus 1 or f suffix t minus 1 can be expressed as, can write this equation number 3. Equation number 3 as f of t minus 1 equal to f of t minus 2 inside bracket 1 minus alpha bracket complete plus alpha multiplied by inside bracket d suffix t minus 2 bracket complete, and that will be our equation number 3. Now put up this f of t minus 1 in equation number 2. Okay, whatever we have determined, f of t minus 1 is equal to f of t minus 2 1 minus alpha plus alpha multiplied by d of t minus 2. So this formula or the equation of f of t minus 1 we are going to put up in equation number 2. Okay, so the value of f of t minus 1 is substituted from equation 3 into equation 2. So our equation 2 is f of t is equal to f of t minus 1 inside bracket 1 minus alpha plus alpha multiplied by d of t minus 1. This is our equation number 2. Okay, and in this equation we have to replace this f of t minus 1 with our determined equation of f of t minus 1. Okay, then our equation for f of t will become f of t is equal to, in curly bracket, f of t minus 2 multiplied by 1 minus alpha bracket complete plus alpha multiplied by d suffix t minus 2 bracket complete curly bracket complete whole multiplied by 1 minus alpha plus alpha multiplied by d of t minus 2 or d suffix t minus d of t minus 1 or d suffix t minus 1. Okay, write down this equation. Now once you multiply this 1 minus alpha inside the bracket, then you will get the equation number 4. Okay, once you multiply 1 minus alpha, okay, whole bracket, if you multiply inside the bracket, then it will become this equation number 4, that is nothing but f of t is equal to f of t minus 2 multiply by inside bracket 1 minus alpha bracket square plus alpha into 1 minus alpha multiply by inside bracket d suffix t minus 2 plus alpha inside bracket d suffix t minus 1 plus alpha multiply by d suffix t minus 1. So this is our equation number 4. Now, in similar way, that how we have determined f of t minus 1, in a similar fashion, if you determine f of t minus 2, then how one can write f of t minus 2 by given formula? Then f of t minus 2 will be written as f of t minus 2 equal to f of t minus 3 multiplied by 1 minus alpha plus alpha multiplied by d suffix t minus 3. Note down this. Now, similarly, as we have done that, we have put up equation number 3 in equation number 2. Similarly, we are going to put up the equation number 4 or equation number 5. Here I will give equation 5. If you put up equation 5 into equation 4, then if the equation 4 becomes, our equation 4 is this, that is f of t is equal to f of t minus 2 multiplied by 1 minus alpha square plus alpha multiplied by 1 minus alpha multiplied by d of t minus 2 plus alpha multiplied by d of t minus 1. So this is our equation number 4. So in that equation, we are going to put up, instead of this f of t, we are going to put up this particular determination, or we can say that the formula for f of t minus 2. So then our f of t will become f of t is equal to, in curly bracket, f of t minus 3 inside a bracket 1 minus alpha bracket complete plus alpha multiplied by d of t minus 3 or d suffix t minus 3 bracket complete, curly bracket complete, multiply by 1 minus alpha bracket square plus alpha multiply by inside the bracket 1 minus alpha bracket complete multiply by inside the bracket d suffix t minus 2 bracket complete plus alpha multiply by d suffix t minus 1. Okay, and once you multiply this 1 minus alpha bracket square inside the bracket, inside the curly bracket, then you will get our equation for that as f of t is equal to alpha multiplied by d suffix t minus 1 plus alpha multiplied by 1 minus alpha multiplied by d suffix t minus 2 plus alpha multiplied by 1 minus alpha square. Okay, you can take this term on this side so that it will be looks good. Okay, if you take this term here, okay, so alpha multiplied by d minus 1 plus alpha multiplied by 1 minus alpha multiplied by d suffix t minus 2 plus alpha multiplied by 1 minus alpha square multiplied by d minus 3 d suffix t minus 3 plus f of t minus 3 inside bracket 1 minus alpha bracket cube. Getting everyone? Is there any doubt, any question? Is there any doubt, any question? Whether you have written all the formulas, okay? You have written all the formulas up to this. Okay, shall we take one problem so that you will understood what we are learning? Okay, so some of the concepts are cleared, but some are remaining, I think so. So that the problem is very necessary to understand the concept. Okay, so write down the problem statement. Okay, I will say this is the problem number 1 on exponential smoothing method. So problem number 1. The demand for the disposable plastic tubing. What is the product? What is the product? Disposable plastic tubing. This is the project. Product. This is the product. And the demand for the disposable plastic tubing for a general hospital. Is 300 units. Okay, एक्चुअल डिमांड दे दिया है हॉस्पिटल का डिस्पोजेबल प्लास्टिक ट्यूबिंग प्रोडक्ट का. द डिमांड फॉर द डिस्पोजेबल प्लास्टिक ट्यूबिंग फॉर अ जनरल हॉस्पिटल is 300 units and 350 units. Okay, 300 units and 350 units for September and October. For September and October. For September and October. Now using 200 units, as forecasted demand for September using 200 units as forecasted demand for September, comma, compute the forecast for November. Compute the forecast for November. Okay, compute the forecast for November. Full stop. Assume the value of alpha as 0.7. Assume the value of alpha as 0.7. Okay, प्रॉब्लम को थोड़ा एनालिसिस करना पड़ेगा. जब भी हम प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने जाते हैं तब थोड़ा सा टाइम लेकर उसको एनालाइज कीजिएगा. क्या क्या डाटा आपको दिया है और वो डाटा हमारे फॉर्मूला में कैसे फिट बैठता है और कौन से अननोन पैरामीटर्स हमको निकालने हैं. सो ये जब हम स्टडी करेंगे और इस तरह से हम लॉजिकली डिटरमाइन करेंगे कि कौन सा डाटा मिसिंग है और कौन सा डाटा आपको प्रोवाइड किया है और which data is required to our formula. So that will be the better thing to solve the problem and you will get the correct answer with some logic. Okay, with some logic. Okay, यहाँ पे लॉजिक हमें चेक करना है. Okay, so उसके लिए फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आपको गिवन डाटा लिखना पड़ेगा. Okay, so क्या दिया है? सितंबर और अक्टूबर मंथ का एक्चुअल डिमांड दिया है. Okay, let us say I will write here September or I will not completely September month actual demand. Okay, कितना दिया है? 300 दिया है. Okay, I will write directly here. Okay, yet not I have finalized the nomenclature for this data, so I am writing. And October month actual demand. Okay, कितना दिया है? October actual demand कितना दिया है? 350. Okay, ओके और बाद में क्या दिया है 200 यूनिट्स एज अ फोरकास्टेड डिमांड फॉर द सितंबर मंथ ओके सितंबर मंथ का फोरकास्टेड डिमांड दिया है ओके थर्ड डाटा क्या है आपके पास सितंबर मंथ का यहाँ पे एक्चुअल की वजह जगह में सितंबर मंथ फोरकास्टेड डिमांड दिया है वो कितना है 200 units okay I will write here 200 units okay so here everywhere I will write units and units okay इतना डाटा आपको दिया है और डिटरमाइन क्या करना है आपको फाइंड क्या करना है हमें नवंबर का फोरकास्ट कंप्यूट द फोरकास्ट फॉर नवंबर okay forecast for November okay that is nothing but we have to determine forecasted demand for November okay I will say November okay forecasted demand for November okay अब हम हमारा सिंपल फॉर्मूला देख लेंगे हमारा सिंपल फॉर्मूला क्या है सॉल्यूशन लिख लेंगे अभी हमें पता नहीं है कि हमें डाटा क्या लगने वाला है सॉल्यूशन लिख लेंगे ओके सॉल्यूशन सो हमारा फॉर्मूला क्या है हमारा फॉर्मूला है f सफिक्स t इज इक्वल टू f ऑफ सफिक्स t minus 1 okay multiply by 1 minus alpha okay I will take the symbol alpha okay 1 minus alpha bracket complete plus alpha multiply by d suffix t minus 1 okay so this is our formula right now इस फॉर्मूले से ओके हम क्या करेंगे ये फॉर्मूले को हम हमारा जो डाटा दिया है वो फिट कैसे बैठता है देख लेंगे सो नाउ हमें f ऑफ t जो कि हमारा अननोन है ओके अननोन क्या डिटरमाइन करना है नवंबर मंथ का डिटरमाइन करना है ओके सो लेट अस कंसीडर f ऑफ t एज द नवंबर मंथ ओके देन नवंबर मंथ का पिछला महीना कौन सा होगा अक्टूबर महीना रहेगा तो अक्टूबर महीने का हमें f ऑफ t माइनस 1 मालूम होना चाहिए दैट इज नथिंग बट अक्टूबर महीने का हमें फोरकास्टेड डिमांड मालूम होना चाहिए और अक्टूबर महीने का हमें एक्चुअल डिमांड मालूम होना चाहिए ओके अक्टूबर महीने का हमें एक्चुअल डिमांड मालूम होना चाहिए ओके राइट सो हमें यहाँ पे अक्टूबर मंथ का एक्चुअल डिमांड दिया है ओके हमें यहाँ पर अक्टूबर मंथ का एक्चुअल डिमांड दिया है लेकिन हमें अक्टूबर मंथ का फोरकास्टेड डिमांड मालूम नहीं है ओके हमें यहाँ पे अक्टूबर मंथ का एक्चुअल डिमांड दिया गया है लेकिन हमें अक्टूबर मंथ का फोरकास्टेड डिमांड मालूम नहीं है ओके सो ये फॉर्मूला नवंबर मंथ को लगाने के लिए पहले हमें अक्टूबर मंथ का फोरकास्टेड डिमांड निकालना पड़ेगा ओके अक्टूबर मंथ का फोरकास्टेड डिमांड निकालना पड़ेगा सो let us consider this formula for the October month okay let us consider this formula for the October month and we are going to provide the nomenclature to this particular given data okay so this formula if you consider for the October month as we don't have the October month data so first of all we have to determine the October month forecasted demand so whatever the formula we have compiled over here that formula will be considered for the October month so then the September month data will be considered as f suffix t minus 1 okay so that will okay here is the actual demand so d suffix t minus 1 okay d suffix t minus 1 will be considered as a September month actual demand and forecasted demand for the September month will be considered as f of or f suffix t minus 1 okay अक्टूबर मंथ का फोरकास्टेड डिमांड डिटरमाइन करने के लिए हमें प्रीवियस मंथ को नॉमेनक्लेचर देना पड़ेगा। सो प्रीवियस मंथ, अक्टूबर का प्रीवियस मंथ क्या है, सितंबर मंथ है। सो सितंबर मंथ का एक्चुअल डिमांड को हम डी सफिक्स टी माइनस वन बोलेंगे और सितंबर मंथ के फोरकास्टेड डिमांड को हम एफ सफिक्स टी माइनस वन बोलेंगे। ओके, सो एफ ऑफ टी will be considered as the October forecasted demand okay is equal to September forecast for September। f of t minus 1 क्या है, forecast for the September multiply by 1 minus alpha okay, here you can say that 1 minus alpha okay is equal to, here multiplication is there, okay, so you have to insert the equation and the multiplication, okay, multiplication is there, okay, plus alpha inside brackets d suffix d क्या है हमारा, अल्फा मल्टीप्लाई d माइनस सी एक्चुअल डिमांड, अल्फा मल्टीप्लाई लिखता हूँ यहाँ पे d मल्टीप्लाई बाय एक्चुअल डिमांड ऑफ actual demand, September actual demand, okay, so in this manner we have converted this formula। f of t क्या है, अक्टूबर फोरकास्टेड डिमांड रहेगा हमारा, f of t माइनस क्या रहेगा, फोरकास्ट फॉर सितंबर रहेगा, ओके, एंड मल्टीप्लाई बाय 1 माइनस अल्फा प्लस अल्फा मल्टीप्लाई बाय d सफिक्स t माइनस 1, d सफिक्स t माइनस 1 क्या है, सितंबर का एक्चुअल डिमांड क्या है। नाउ पुट अप द वैल्यूज इन दिस इक्वेशन, so October forecasted demand as October forecast is equal to सितंबर का फोरकास्ट कितना है, 200 है, मल्टीप्लाई बाय 1 माइनस, ओके, अल्फा कितना प्रोवाइड किया है आपको, 0.7 प्रोवाइड किया है, 0.7 पुटअप कीजिएगा यहाँ पर, प्लस सो 0.7 एंड सितंबर का एक्चुअल कितना है, सितंबर का एक्चुअल है 300, ओके, सो मल्टीप्लाई विथ 300, सो आपको अक्टूबर का फोरकास्ट मिला, ओके, अक्टूबर का फोरकास्ट मिलेगा। सो डू कैलकुलेशन एंड लेट मी नो अक्टूबर फोरकास्ट कितना आएगा, 270, ग्रेट, 270, सो 270 यूनिट अक्टूबर का फोरकास्ट था, लेकिन अक्टूबर को एक्चुअल सेल कितना हुआ है, एक्चुअल डिमांड कितना आ रहा है, 350। नाउ यू हैव अक्टूबर मंथ एक्चुअल डिमांड आल्सो एंड अक्टूबर मंथ forecast demand also। Now it will be easy to calculate the November month forecasted demand, okay, it will be easy to calculate the November month forecasted demand। so अब हमें f of t किसको दिया, अक्टूबर को दिया, तो नवंबर को क्या करना पड़ेगा, हमें क्या नॉमेनक्लेचर यूज करना पड़ेगा, नवंबर मंथ को f सफिक्स t प्लस 1, राइट, अक्टूबर को हमने f of t दे दिया, तो नवंबर को हमें f of t प्लस 1 देना पड़ेगा। तो इस केस में फॉर्मूला क्या रहेगा हमारा, f of t प्लस 1 is equal to f of t plus multiply by 1 minus alpha bracket complete plus alpha multiply by d of t. Okay, d suffix t. Okay, d suffix t. Okay, ये फॉर्मूला हमें नवंबर को यूज करना पड़ेगा. ओके, बिकॉज एफ ऑफ टी हमने अक्टूबर को कंसीडर किया. ओके, अक्टूबर फोरकास्ट एफ ऑफ टी. सो अक्टूबर के बाद का महीना नवंबर है, तो हमें क्या कंसीडर करना पड़ेगा? एफ ऑफ टी प्लस 1. ओके, सो in a similar fashion, if you want to write this simplified formula also, no problem. So you can consider here instead of October as November. November forecasted demand is equal to October forecast for October multiply by 1 minus alpha plus October actual demand. October actual demand. Okay, so put up all the values are with you. Now you can perform the calculation and you can put up your answer over here. So equal to f of t कितना है? फोरकास्टेड डिमांड 270, जस्ट आपने कैलकुलेट किया. 1 माइनस अल्फा, अल्फा कितना है आपका? 0.7 है. ओके, राइट. एंड यहाँ पर भी अल्फा आपका प्लस 0.7 रहेगा. टी ऑफ टी एक्चुअल डिमांड कितना है? 350 है. ओके, डू कैलकुलेशन. एक लाइन में लाता हूँ इसको, तो थोड़ा छोटा रहेगा. दिखाई देता है आपको? Is there any problem? Okay, so November forecasted demand is equal to forecast for October multiply by 1 minus alpha plus alpha multiply by October actual demand. Okay, so do calculation and let me know your answer for the November forecast demand. कितना मिलता है? Let me know your answer, final answer. How much you are getting? समझ में आया आप कैसे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना है? ओके, 326. सो नवंबर forecasted demand 326. Okay, great. So I hope you understood how to calculate the exponential forecasted demand by using the exponential smoothing method. Okay, so November forecasted demand kitna? 326. Okay, so I will write here 326. Okay, and this is your answer. 326 units. Your answer, final answer. Okay, I hope you have written all the points. Okay, if not, then you can write once again if it is possible. If you have noted all the points, then you can put up your roll numbers in the chat box and you can leave no issue. Already I have consumed 15 minutes more, but there is no another lecture, so that I am taking this extra 15 minutes. Okay, Those who have not finished the write-up part, please note down, because I'm going to ask one problem out of moving average or exponential smoothing method in our first ISC. Okay, so first ISC having 30 marks, out of that 6 questions for MCQ, and out of remaining 24, 12 marks on a problem. Okay, and 12 marks theory will be there. Okay, 12 problem, 12 theory.